What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Steelers Sanctuary podcast. I'm your host, Dave Romero from SteelersSanctuary.com, and this is my co-host, David Cora. What's up, Dave?
What's up, guys?
All right, I figured we'd start out with talking just a little bit about the Jets game next week. There's been some news going on this week. George Fant, their starting tackle, is going on the IR. That's their third tackle this year they put on IR, so that's huge for this game coming up.
Yeah, that's going to be nice. Lined up across from Highsmith, or he'll be lined up across from Reed or one of them. So that'll be whatever it takes to help.
Yeah, Highsmith should have a big game this week. He's already, does he lead the league in sacks, or he's close to it? He's having a monster season.
Leads the league in 4.5 sacks. So Pretty nice.
Could pad those stats this week, hopefully.
Yep.
And he'll probably be chasing around Zach Wilson. News today is he's probably going to start this week. He's been cleared by the NFL, and Jets are going to go ahead and throw him to the Lions.
I preferred. I'm like, okay, go ahead, start him, because the kid didn't do that great last year, and it's going to be his first game coming off a major injury. It's like, okay, Flacco's been in a groove, man. So it's just like,
yeah,
all right, go ahead, put him out there at Heinz Field, at Acrisure Stadium to boot.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
It's a tough place to play, but you got to start him somewhere, right? He's the franchise. They're going to have to.
Absolutely. Ready, they should exactly. Yep. Start him here. Yep.
Yeah, I'm kind of for it too, the way Flacco's been playing. All right, let's go over the Mike Tomlin press conference from yesterday. A lot of stuff came out of this, actually. First of all, injuries. All of a sudden, Minkah Fitzpatrick's in the concussion protocol. Where the hell did that come from?
I know. I was like, what the hell? And I was like, well, maybe that's why he had a quiet game against Cleveland.
It's a possibility. I don't know where he got his bell rung. I didn't see a play. I didn't see him.
You want to know where I think it was? I think it was when Chubb's knee hit his head when he stopped what would have been a touchdown.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. That's a possibility.
When Chubb jumped over him, it looked like the knee hit his helmet. That was actually what tripped Chubb up to where he fell down. I'm wondering, full speed ahead with that kneecap to his head, even though he had a helmet on.
Yeah.
I don't know. That to me, I'm just guessing. And that was in the beginning of the game. So that could explain a lot why he was pretty quiet and didn't have that. I'm not gonna say he didn't have a great game, but he had a quiet game. He didn't really have
a great game, actually. No. Nick Chubb's a load. If he hits you in the head with his knee, you're gonna feel it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Other injuries, Witherspoon with the hamstring. Tomlin wasn't too elaborate on his explanation. Just said they're gonna go let the week progress and see how he goes. I don't see him starting on Sunday. That's hamstring for a corner,
and I don't even know what to think. Like, that's not good yet. The way he's looked lately, I don't even know if it matters.
Kevin Dodson with an ankle. I didn't know he got dinged up in the game either, but apparently he's got an ankle, but it didn't seem that serious.
Is Kendrick Green gonna make his first start?
Don't say that. Don't speak it. Don't even say it.
I don't know, bro. I'm starting to get a little nervous.
Oh, God. And finally, Presley Harvin's got some kind of hip issue. So the Steelers signed Jordan Berry to the practice squad this week and waived Delonte Scott. The kid was playing pretty good. It's too bad he's injured now. Hopefully he doesn't miss any time or have this lingering hip thing all season long.
I know.
Just when he started playing pretty good.
Right off the bat, boom.
Yeah. All right. Also, during this press conference, Tomlin confirmed that Tyson Alualu has been demoted, and now Montravius Adams is number one nose tackle. Dave, who didn't see this coming?
Well, apparently a lot of people, because we talked about it for a while that this was a concern. Him coming off a major injury, he's not getting any younger. We've been talking about. We hoped he did not. I mean, I remember you banging that drum early. This was, I think, holy shit, back in May or June, you brought it up. And I was just like, oh, maybe you're right. Now look, here we are. Game 4 we're on the cusp of game 4 and already demoted.
Yeah, he's been bad. I noticed one quarterback sneak where he was just flattened on his back.
Wow.
And I watched the all 22 today, and he was not good in that game.
I watched a couple where he tried and just got knocked onto the ground. Like he just smoked, absolutely smoked especially by Cleveland's O-line. Like, no business. They took him out of the play altogether, like nothing. So, yeah, I mean, I like Montravius Adams. He's pretty quick. like for a defensive lineman, he's actually pretty quick off the line there. And so look, if he's been doing better, I'm kind of not surprised. He's younger and he's got that burst, man. Like, I don't know. I remember last year when they signed him off the practice squad, right?
Yep.
And off of somebody else's practice squad. I think it's New Orleans practice squad.
New Orleans, yeah, you're right. Yep.
When they signed him and then he got in the game, and I mean he was in that backfield like right now on one of the first plays he was out there. I was like, whoa, okay, this guy, he's got good hand moves, man. I'm not really surprised by this, to be honest with you.
Here's the thing about Adams. He seems to be a better pass rusher than a run stopper. And this team needs run stoppers so badly. This is last year all over again with Tyson out. Now he's not going to be playing. So we're going to have the same issues against the run we did last year. And that's not good news for the Steelers defense.
Well, I'm wondering if, I doubt it happens, but you got to figure like Isaiah Loudermilk's been inactive like almost, every game?
Yep,
so like
every game. Yep.
I got to think that maybe sooner or later he's going to get a helmet here and get given his shot, I would think.
They're almost going to have to at this point because they got to try something different. The run defense has been pretty poor the first 3 games. That's bad news for the defense. We said early in the season that one of the keys was Tyson Alualu staying healthy and playing well for this defense, and already 2 of the 3 keys we had at the beginning of the season. TJ staying healthy and Alualu playing well. They're both out the window. 3 actually, because we had Witherspoon playing well was a key to the defense too, and he hasn't. So
he was fine up until the Patriots game. Really, I mean, I don't know. If you take away that big play to Aguilar where they scored the touchdown, I think besides that, it wasn't as bad. I can't remember. I don't think it was as bad.
Oh, no, definitely not as bad. But then again, you got to look at the weapons. The Browns don't have a lot of weapons, but Cooper is better than anybody the Patriots have. And
I don't know, man. Just ever since that big play against the Pats and then now Cleveland, I don't know. Unless his hamstring's been an issue and he's been slowed by it and now it got worse. Because you hear that a lot. Like, I'm trying to remember who it was. Remember Mike Mitchell?
Yeah.
Remember how bad he sucked?
I couldn't stand him. Let's go.
And then you found out he had like 2 torn like groin muscles or something. Like his shit was shattered.
I do.
And
that,
you're like, holy fuck, dude! Like, what are you doing? Like, why were you playing? And so then I wonder, like, if these players try to hide, injuries because I guess it affects their paycheck or whatever.
I'm sure that happens all the time in the NFL.
Right.
Yeah,
so I'm kind of wondering if maybe something happened maybe against the Pats and, he tried to just take, he wasn't able to go full 100%. And maybe that's affected, now he's going up against Amari Cooper. That don't fucking help. And,
it's a good point, and it's a plausible explanation. I mean,
and it's a complete speculation on my part. I'm just saying.
No, but it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense.
That maybe that could be it. I'm hoping that's it. That explains why the way he played went down. His level has went down. So I don't know. It's just a guess. I'm hoping that's it, and hopefully he gets better and starts playing a lot better.
Tomlin said he thinks the offense is improving. I don't know which games he's watching, but I'm not seeing that at all. I mean, I guess the running game's improving a little bit. The first half of the Browns game was pretty good, but the passing game is as bad as it's been all season. It hasn't changed. It's been bad. Where is he seeing improving offense? I don't get it, man.
Yeah, Tomlin also said that he has developed cataracts in both eyes, and it's an ongoing thing, and he'll have to deal with that as well. Dude, I have no idea. Like, I have no idea what the fuck he's seeing. Like, I'll give him this. The first half was better. They put up a whole 14 points. And then 3 in the second half? So where you thought, I would say that this is how bad they are. They looked better than their game against the Pats. But to only put up 3 points in the second half, then really it's just status quo.
Yeah.
We're talking about what? 3 games, they've put up an average of, 14 point something points or 15 point something
15
points?
point something if you take out the touchdown.
That is putrid. You've
bad.
You've got to put up over 20 points in this league to have a chance. Period.
Minimum, yeah.
Right. And
It's
they're not doing it. And to say that they're getting better, dude, he's just ignoring what the problem is. That's what it feels like. It feels like he's just not ignoring, but he doesn't want to address the issues. Like he's just hoping it works himself out. Like I think he's hoping that Trubisky turns a corner. Matt Canada with this offense turns a corner. They're begging for it to happen probably quick as possible. But I think that's just what they think. They think it's going to turn a corner eventually. And they're too arrogant to admit mistakes. So they're just going to keep rolling with this, period.
That's a good segue to my next point, where they asked him if any changes were coming. And his exact quote was, "We're in the no blink business," which means he's not making any changes. He's sticking with Trubisky. That stubbornness, I don't know if it's arrogance or I don't even know what, I couldn't even begin to.
It's arrogance, dude. It's the whole, we're the Pittsburgh Steelers. We do nothing wrong. We know what we're doing. We're not going to admit to mistakes. That's it. They do a draft picks. They're going to do it with this. They're just going to roll with it.
Yeah, it's frustrating as hell. They also asked,
it's killer.
Yeah. They also asked him about the up-tempo offense, and he gives, the same vague answer as always. Like, we have it in the offense. We use it at times, blah, blah, blah. Didn't answer the question, why did they use it in the second half until the end of the game? It's like, I don't know if he's tap dancing around Mitch Trubisky's inabilities or Matt Canada's inabilities or the offense in general, and he's just trying to put a positive face on. I don't know who he's protecting.
I think it's both. I think he's tiptoeing around the whole thing because the whole thing's a shit show.
Yeah.
So he's just going to try to tiptoe around this whole thing. He's going to pray to God that they're facing a banged up Jets team and they win. And then he'll get to have another press conference and tell all the offense is improving. It looks so great. And it's all fucking hugs and rainbows or whatever. And everything's fine now. And it's not fine. It's not going to be fine. And look, they should win this game, but I'm not sure if I'm there yet.
They have to win this game, because if they don't, cancel Christmas, the season's over. This game is absolutely must win. We talked about the rest of the schedule a couple of times now, and it does break a little better in the second half, but these next 6 or 7 games are just brutal. They have to win this game. They have to. The shitstorm that will come across if they lose this game on Sunday, he'll have no choice but to have to make some change. He'll have to.
Well, and that's the thing I wonder. I wonder if it would take starting the season off 1-3, losing to the Jets at home, losing to the Browns without Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
Losing to the Pats at home. What's it going to take? And you could be right. Like, if they go 1-3 out the gate, yeah, he might be forced to do something.
It's going to happen.
The question is, which is it? Is it Trubisky's the one that sits and Kenny starts, or is it Canada's gone? Which one you think they'd be more willing to do?
Oh, it's definitely Trubisky first. He has to do Trubisky first. I mean,
I think so.
I'm writing a piece today on my blog about it, and you can make the point that Matt Canada hasn't had a competent quarterback yet. If you're looking for ways to make excuses for Matt Canada, Ben was banged up and over the hill last year. And now we're seeing the flaws in Mitch Trubisky too. What coordinator is successful without a good quarterback? There aren't any. There are very few, very, very few. And this team hasn't had good quarterback play. So, like I said last week, Canada's got to be just begging Tomlin to put Kenny Pickett in at this point.
I was going to say, this was the shit that you were talking about on Twitter, right?
Yep.
And okay, so yeah, like I wonder if there is that conversation. Like he's showing Tomlin the film. Like, look, my play calls are working. He's not hitting the guy that's open. He's not doing anything that he should be doing. He's not getting his third and fourth reads. It's hike the ball. Oh, that read's not there. Dump it off to Najee.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
And then if he does get out of the pocket, the guy better be about 10 yards at the first. That's as far as they can go, because after 15 yards, he was 5 for 19 going into that game. I don't know what he is now, but it's not going to, So he might be banging the table for like, hey, we got to get Pickett a shot. And Tomlin doesn't want to do it.
It's got to be.
And I'm not trying to defend Matt Canada because his play calls in critical situations or abandoning the up tempo in the second half of that game has fucked this offense and fucked them over winning. So he's just as guilty as Trubisky. Like, like we were seeing like this whole thing where people are picking a side. Oh, it's Trubisky. Oh, it's Kent. No, it's fucking both. It's both. A combination of fucking both. Trubisky's not doing what he's expected to do, and Canada is making horrendous play calls in certain situations, and it's costing them games. And it hasn't stopped. Really, they got lucky. They won the goddamn Bengals game.
Yeah. They had 5 turnovers. They had to win that game.
And it took
a lucky blocked extra point.
It took 5 fucking turnovers to prevent them from winning the game and the blocked field goal or the extra point. Like, even
those turnovers, if they don't block that extra point, they lose the game. It's crazy. Yep. It's crazy.
Like, it's just so it really at this point, like, I don't know how you can pick a side. I really don't. Like, it's both. It's been both. And if they lose to the Jets, whoo.
Oh, it's you haven't seen it. You think Steelers' foot has been angry now? Oh boy, it's gonna get ugly if they lose to the Jets. They can't lose this game.
Oh, and at home?
Yeah.
Bro.
Oh, the Kenny chance will be out of control. Out of control by the second quarter. Guaranteed.
Hey, no pressure, Mitch.
Yeah.
No pressure.
I did a deep dive today. I watched the all 22 of the game. Man, Mitch Trubisky's bad, dude. When he's bad, he's bad. Like, he's late on decisions. This wide receiver's open. He waits too long, and then they're covered again. His accuracy's awful. We talked about it like 2 weeks ago when he's throwing off his back foot a lot. Now he didn't have as many back foot passes, but he's still his mechanics are all over the place.
Yep.
I looked up some stats today. He's 26th in completion percentage at 60.2.
26th.
His QBR is 49, 22nd in the league.
Oh, he's 49.
His total yards passing is 569. That's 27th in the league. Your boy Cooper Rush, who you brought up a couple times, has 514 and a little over a game and a half. It's so bad. And his yards per attempt, 5.5, the worst among starters in the NFL. Yards per attempt.
Are you serious?
He's not pushing the ball down the field. It's as much as I'm unhappy with Matt Canada, I'm leaning towards giving him one more chance. I know I said this at the beginning of the season, but put Kenny Pickett in there and let's see what happens, because this is clearly not working. And it's having an effect on the whole offense. The receivers are frustrated now, and they're not playing well. DJ drop passes. I watched George Pickens closely. He's not running his full routes anymore. He's getting frustrated. He's pulling up. It's starting to snowball. They need to make a change, and they need to make a change quick. Unless Trubisky plays completely out of his ass Sunday, which is not likely, I don't know what they do.
I think it'll only be, though, if they go into halftime down, they'll put Kenny in. That's what I think will happen. If they go into halftime down, that gives them a little bit of time with him and to go over whatever adjustments they're going to make with Kenny now. And go, if they even make fucking adjustments. Half the time, I don't even know if they make any fucking adjustments. But yeah. So, but yeah, no, that's when I think you'll see Kenny go in the middle of that game. It'll have to be halftime, and they're down. If it's a tied game, they're still going to stick with Trubisky.
If it's close,
the only way I think they do is if they're down. And I don't even know. And if they're down, it might have to be like they're down by 10. Because even if they're down by like 3, I can see Tomlin being like, "Oh no, we're sticking with Mitch." So, I don't know. This whole talk about how they're progressively getting better and all this other shit, bro. What are you talking about? Yeah. No, they're not. No, they're not. They had a couple things that looked good in the first half against the Browns, and then they reverted right back to being what they've been the last 3 games. So, I don't know, man.
The Browns were just loading the box on Thursday night, just loading the box, daring the Steelers to throw.
No,
it's just not there. I mean, it's just. Can we spend a minute on Connor Hayward too?
Oh,
he's my pet peeve.
Yes.
What the fuck is he doing on this team? What does he do? I saw him twice. I noticed him twice. He might have played in more snaps, but I noticed him twice. Both times he missed his block so badly that it was pathetic. If he can't block, what is he doing on his team?
Well, I'll go the opposite route. Why don't they utilize him more? Like, he could be that. He's got great hands. We've seen it. So, like, why don't they use him? It's another fucking Watt. It's a Derek Watt.
Yeah, that's my point. They don't need another Derek Watt. They need that like a hole in the head.
Like, don't get me wrong. Yeah, his blocking was fucking horrible. Like, I get it. But my problem is you drafted the kid. I saw some of the plays you ran with him in the preseason. It looked great. Why are you not utilizing him? Why are you utilizing him only as a fucking blocker? Like, put him out there. See some two tight end runs. Let's see it, man. Like, come on. Yeah, I don't know.
If you put him on the field, here's the problem. If you put Connor Hayward on the field, that means you're taking off somebody. You're taking off George Pickens off the field, or you're taking Zach Gentry off the field, or you're taking, Chase Claypool off the field. Do you really want to take one of those guys off to put this guy in with no athletic ability?
Yes, but in certain situations, like if it's like, say, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 5, and you want sure hands out there, you could have him underneath, have Najee Flair out, do some slants. Oh, down the middle.
They're not going to throw down the middle. We've already established that. So that makes Hayward even less.
I'm just saying, like, they could do these things and it could work with that kid. He's got really good hands, but they don't. They stick him out there just to be a blocker, and it hasn't looked great. So we talked about this months ago.
Yep.
Why did you draft this fucking kid?
It's Jalen Samuels all over again. Oh, he's good at this. He's good at that. He's good at this, but he's not great at anything. He's just.
And I'm saying, like, this kid can catch. They should utilize him more. But because I'm not gonna say he sucks, or I'm not gonna say that he's looking horrible. Like, it's a couple blocks, whatever. But at the same time, they're not utilizing him like I thought they would. Because I really do think a 2 tight end set would be nice out there sometimes. Just to throw shit at these people, especially with this offense, bro. They are so anemic. You need to throw different looks at these defenses to find ways to get the ball downfield. So I would say utilize Connor Hayward. Put him out there. Put him and Freiermuth both out there, and run some of these plays with both of them out there and see how it goes. Especially on
Zach Gentry out there than him. I mean,
well, no, it's
no athletic
yes and no.
whatsoever.
Again, be creative with it. Like, you could every once in a while put him out there, because think about it this way, and I hate to use them as an example, but I will. The Patriots, they would always have some fucking guy that they hardly use or they hardly do anything with, and then he's the star of the fucking game, because it's smart, man. If teams are not planning for certain players, and then you make the offense be around him for a game, it could really work. Dude, they had a fucking lacrosse player out there.
Yeah.
Made him look like Jerry Rice against us. Like, seriously, like, I'm just saying, like, it'd be smart to do these creative things with players that you put on the team. But I go back to what I said 4 months ago. Why the fuck did you draft this kid if you never were planning on using him?
I mean, this team could use a defensive tackle in the 6th round. They could have used another edge rusher. I mean, take a shot at an edge rusher in the 6th round. And there's so many ways they could have gone besides.
There were middle linebackers that had 3rd round grades in the 6th round that they could have fucking drafted.
Another position they could have used some more depth in. I mean, it just you can't even qualify. He's not really a tight end. He's not really a fullback. He's basically a running back that wasn't good enough. So they're moving him around. He's got pretty good hands. You're right. But man, I don't know. I don't want to spend too much time because he doesn't play that much, but it just seems like a complete waste of time to me. It just does. The rest of the offense,
I get it. Good.
Like we said earlier, the running game did seem a little better. It did seem like they're making inroads in that. And that could open up the whole offense. At this point, I'm not saying go all Baltimore Ravens offense, but it's time to maybe Buffalo Bills offense, use Mitch like they use Josh Allen, quarterback draws, runs, rollouts.
Yes.
If you insist on sticking with Trubisky, which they do, then use his talents to the fullest. If he gets hurt, hey, it's Kenny Pickett time anyway.
He just came from that offense. Like,
yeah, exactly.
That's what you should fucking do with him. That's why he was the backup in Buffalo. because he was like a mini Josh Mini, and I mean Mini. I'm not comparing him.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's.
But they're
Josh
similar
Allen. I'm
body
just
type.
saying
Well,
their
he's
body
not as
type,
big,
the
but-
way they play is the same way. So why not utilize him that way? You're right. I agree completely. He did that one run. I was like, yes,
They need more of that.
they're going to do it. And then that was it. It was like, dude,
Yeah.
like, what are you doing? I
don't
don't know.
You're struggling running the ball. You're struggling passing the ball. Spread them out and let Trubisky go a couple times. Desperate times, man. This offense needs to get going.
Dude, I was watching. God, who was I watching? I was watching a game, and they were doing like the option play, the quarterback option.
Yep.
And that kills the man when a quarterback gets out there and you don't know if he's going to dump that off or not. Oh man, I can't remember if it was Baltimore. I can't remember who I was watching when they did that, but man, I love it. You got a mobile quarterback like that.
It opens up a lot of shit. It does.
Yeah,
it does.
And they just, I don't know. It's like they finally had him start flaring out, and they had him getting out of the pocket, and they had it to where multiple receivers were on one side for him to have targets, which was smart to do. But not having him actually do more legit quarterback runs. I don't know.
When you watch football on Sundays, and we got to watch because the Steelers weren't playing, so you really got to watch. Some of these offenses just make you sad. Like, they're so creative, they're so like different than what we see every week. Like, any offshoot of the Kyle Shanahan, the Rams coach, escaping my head, any of their coaching tree, those guys are just good. Like,
yeah.
I know the Vikings coach now is worked with the Rams coach. I know Cincinnati's coach is an offshoot of that. You see it with San Francisco, you see it with the Rams. It's creative, it's guys in motion, guys moving. And you watch the Steelers and it's like, oh, I've seen that play. I've seen that play 100 times. This is where, I start leaning towards Mitch Trubisky's fault, and then I start sliding back to, or maybe it's Matt Canada's fault, because it's a tough decision. He's kind of handcuffed on what he can call, because Mitch is just not.
Sean McVay is the Rams coach.
Yes, thank you. And all their coaching tree and the way those guys approach offense is the way of the future for the NFL. And it feels like the Steelers are playing like 3 steps behind that.
Colin Cowherd, and look, a lot of people, including myself, shit on Colin Cowherd for some of the shit he says, but I think he nailed it, man. Teams with offensive background head coaches are more successful right now
because it's an offensive league.
Steelers got and I'm not trying to say they should fire Tomlin, so none of that shit. No, I'm just saying in general, this is what you're seeing. Steelers want to play smash mouth football, run the ball, tough defense. That's not the league anymore.
No, it isn't. You don't draft. You don't trade up to draft a middle linebacker.
They drafted like they were making that move to be a prolific offense, and it's not happening because of the play calling and the quarterback you have. Oh, by the way, are we ever going to see Calvin Austin?
I don't know what the extent of his injury is. Well, he's on IR, so he's got to miss 4, right? So he could possibly
play after
the Jets game. Yeah, after the Jets game, he could play.
All right, because I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember what his deal was, but all right, because I've been excited to see that kid, and I haven't seen him at all.
Yeah.
Like,
hopefully he's healthy and ready to come off after this week. We'll see. Mike McDaniel, I shouldn't go forward without mentioning him too in Miami. He's another guy from that coaching tree that's just absolutely killing it. I mean, they've got good weapons in Miami, but man, his play calling is phenomenal.
That Buffalo Dolphins game was fantastic.
You're watching great offense, man. It's so refreshing. I mean, they didn't score a lot of points because of the heat and stuff, but God damn it, it's so much fun to watch that.
Yep, it is. It's a lot of fun.
Dreaming about that in the preseason. Look at all the weapons we have. We got this, we got that.
Yep.
Nothing.
And it's, we don't even throw the ball. We're scared to throw the ball down the middle. But actually, first we were scared to throw it down the field. Then it's down the middle, and I don't know what it'll be now. I don't know. It's just,
if they end up making a change at the end of the season, an offensive coordinator, they have to march right to LA or San Francisco and find out who the offensive coordinator there is and try to bribe them to come to Pittsburgh. That's that simple. Or even Miami, if Miami's got an offensive coordinator now.
Did you see it was funny. I was watching the Chiefs Colts highlights, and the enemy and Mahomes got into it pretty good. I'm like, go ahead, guys, fire him, please, fire him. We will take him. In fact, we'll trade you for him. Like,
I'm not sold on him, man.
What do you want? The enemy? Are you serious?
I think it's all the head coach. I think they actually took the play calling away from him now. He's not even calling. I
didn't know that.
Yeah. There was a big article about how, and you know what it was? It was a tweet by Shady McCoy. He came out and he said, he tweeted that the enemy always wants to argue with players and he's not even a good play caller. Tweeted that out, and then it came out later that
bro, this guy's been getting interviewed for head coaching jobs for like 4 years. Like, I don't know.
Why hasn't he gotten the job? Because I think the rest of the NFL knows it's not him.
Wow,
it's not him. It's crazy.
So Andy Reid's calling all the plays?
Yeah, calling the plays again.
I didn't know that.
And then you're going to get your wish. I think they're getting ready to run him out of town at this point. I don't know how much longer he's going to be in Kansas City.
Okay, so answer this question for me. Would he be better than Matt Canada?
Oh God, maybe.
Well, there's no maybe. There's no maybe.
I mean, just being around Andy Reid that long. Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, dude, I think any team with an offensive coach as the head coach, the offensive coordinator underneath him is probably better than Canada.
Yeah, I mean, you make a good point. I mean,
that's how bad this has been. So if they fired the enemy, oh my God, I will take him over Canada in a New York minute. I mean, if you can think of anybody else out there that do you have an offensive coordinator in mind?
I mean, no, not really. I think I was on record on Twitter saying Mike McDaniel would be perfect, but he took a head coaching job. I mean, yeah, I'd have to look into it, but you're right. Anything's better than Matt Canada at this point. But I will say this, I'm going to withhold judgment till I see what Kenny Pickett looks like in this offense. And if you're on 3 quarterbacks and you still can't get it done, then I'm sorry, dude. There's nothing more we can do for you. It's time to go.
Oh, yeah.
You saw this offense click, though, in the preseason with Kenny Pickett. You bring up his quarterback rating all the time, and he was humming this offense with third stringers.
Yep.
So.
But, hey, I was going to bring this up to you because it just occurred to me a couple days ago. Just like a little conspiracy theory. So what if they're just like, you know what? We'll just go ahead and tank, get a high draft pick, build an offensive line around Kenny, and roll next year. They saw the schedule. They know it's going to be rough.
Yeah,
don't want to get their brand new drafted quarterback hurt. Put Mitch out there. Whatever happens, happens. If we do bad, we get a high draft pick, draft an offensive lineman, and protect our star quarterback, just like the Bengals kind of did with Burrow last year.
Yeah, I don't think it's Tomlin has that in him. He wants to win every quarter of every game of every minute. He wants to win 24/7. I don't think he can.
I'm gonna put it this way: if they continue to go with Mitch at this point, go ahead, just suck.
Yeah,
get that high.
He might be doing it by accident by keeping Mitch in. But,
so just get the high damn draft pick and draft, top offensive lineman like you needed to do 4 years ago, and roll from there. Build that O line to protect him, and let's roll. Oh, dude, did you see? Is it? I want to Davis, the guy. Remember that top defensive lineman that was like
Georgia? Yep.
Yeah, the height around Davis. Did you see? He's the top rated rookie. I was like, whoa.
He's flattening people. I mean,
could you imagine having him? Jesus.
I think honestly, the Steelers liked him, and if he would have lasted till them draft, they would have had an interesting problem because I know Tomlin loved him. Tomlin said multiple good things about him.
Yeah,
they would have been. That's the answer to the whole problems. A gigantic, athletic defensive lineman who can rush the passer and just eat up the run game. That's perfect. It's exactly what they need. Let's flip over the defense now since we started talking about it. The biggest takeaway from this game, man, this defense is just very average without TJ Watt. We talked about it last podcast.
Yeah.
The whole design of this thing is designed around a good elite pass rush, and they don't have that right now. Even though obviously Alex Highsmith's been great, but the two of them together is what made it. And without TJ's great against the run too. That's something we don't talk about enough.
Yes.
I saw Malik Reed a couple of times, man. He's unplayable. He's terrible against the run. And he hasn't even sniffed a sack yet. So I don't know. It's a couple more games till TJ gets back. Having said all that, I think they've still played well enough to win. If this offense ever gets going.
They just got wore down. I think they're better than how they played. They're on pace for 1,300 fucking snaps.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, they're worn out. They're just toast, man. Like, they had a Sunday game and then had to roll right into a fucking Thursday game. Yeah. The offense ain't doing them no favors. So, like,
that's the biggest point.
They're gonna be tired as fuck. So I'm not surprised at all. We talk about age, right? Alualu and Hayward are not getting any younger.
Yeah, they're both over 30.
Now you've got them out there constantly. I mean, I don't know. We should have known this wasn't gonna losing. Yeah. So it's just one of them things. Now, that's the other thing. You would think coming off 10 days rest, they'll come out playing a lot better at home. Don't got to, jump on a plane and travel anywhere. Yeah. Like, you're at home. So I would like to think they come out 10 days rest a lot better. I think the defense hopefully will play a lot better too. The offense, I just at this point, I just assume they're not going to be great. They're going to be average at best. And we do once again hope that our defense wins it for us. So as long as Minka's okay, then I think we'll be,
cross your fingers. Yeah.
Yeah. So
the Jets defense is pretty good. I mean, we'll review the game on Friday in more detail, but Sauce Gardner, he was one-on-one with the Bengals top receiver there. And he was doing excellent. Sauce Gardner is the real deal.
He faced another guy too, didn't he? Yeah. Didn't he show stats against two of the top wide receivers in the league? He shut them both down.
Yeah, he's good. But their offense is terrible for the most part. They got a pretty good running game, but like we said before, Zach Wilson, that's tailor-made. This is tailor-made for a win. They have to get this win. Okay, watching the tape, another thing that stood out to me, dude, I now understand why Robert Spillane's the third down linebacker. Because, man, Devin fucking Bush has no instincts whatsoever. He's just, I've gone a whole 180 on him. I just don't, he's just not good. Let's be honest.
I saw some of the replays where they took him another one. It just got completely taken out of the play. Like, he literally, he was standing there trying to find the runner and just disappeared. You're like, where the hell did he go? And offensive lineman came and just absolutely manhandled him out of the way. It was bad.
And in coverage, he's worse. Jesus. In coverage, he's worse.
Looks slow.
The tight end for the Browns there, Njoku just runs right across his face, and Bush just stands there. And they got that Conklin guy, and at least Joe Flacco was feeding this dude. Yeah, tight ends are always been the Steelers.
issue. The guy has 24 targets in 3 games as a tight end.
Yeah,
and once they watch that film, how Njoku went off against us, oh boy, I think they're going to feed that Conklin guy and see if we can stop him.
Yep, no doubt. Terrell Edmonds, another guy, just a passenger on this defense. He makes 0 plays, gets nothing done.
Well, I thought he's done well except for this game. This game, it was like he had blinders on. Like, I don't even know. On the touchdown pass, twice, right? If I remember correctly. It was like, bro, what are you doing? Just way out of it. They just seemed out of it, dude. And I go back to they're just tired as fuck.
Well, Terrell Edmonds, I mean, this is a guy who runs 4.3 40. He's a pretty big dude for a safety, for sure. And he makes no impact on the game whatsoever. When was the last time you had a pick or a forced fumble or a sack or anything to change the game? He's just a passenger on this defense.
He's a guy that makes tackles.
He missed some tackles in this game too. They all
did though, bro. All of them missed tackles, and just like I said, the whole defense just did not look right. They all didn't look right. But another thing though about that is how do you leave Witherspoon on an island with Amari Cooper the whole time?
You know what? You know how? Because they're so preoccupied with stopping the run that Minka's looking in the backfield. You've got Terrell Edmonds playing almost like a linebacker, even though he's not making any tackles. And that was the game plan. Let him go one-on-one because you can't stop the run. So you gotta devote numbers. It's it's bad. When it's bad, it gets real bad. And I don't know how they fix it. Now that Tyson Alualu's been demoted, you just hope TJ comes back, everything turns around. I mean, he's that kind of guy that can turn it around. I feel like the Steelers sometimes, man, they fall in love with these athletes that have great numbers in the college. And Edmonds and Bush are two of the big examples. They look great running the 40 and they look great in shorts running around, but come game time, they don't help the team at all. They got a bad track record.
It's ever since they drafted Jarvis Jones and he didn't have a good spark score. He ended up being horrible.
Correct.
So now you've got to have a high spark score or an RAS score, that other thing.
Yep.
And if you have that, they'll fall in love with you, man. Even if your stats from college don't quite, or the film, like even like the film's oh, he's an athlete. Oh, what's the other word Tom likes to use? Like the bloodlines.
Yeah, well, that's
another thing with him. And you're just like, okay, I mean, it worked for Watt. I'll give him that.
Yeah, but it worked once. What else?
But that's really it. But
yeah, they stress the athlete thing too much, I think, and not football players who can, don't mind getting their hands dirty and making plays. It's just, I wrote, Claypool's another kind of example of that. When you look at his numbers from the combine, you say to yourself, how the fuck did this guy make it out of the first round? He's tall, he's fast, he's this, he's that. Dude doesn't make plays. And I don't know. And now it's too early, but let's hope that George Pickens doesn't fall into this category too, because that's another guy who I've heard people say that athletic profile, how in God's name does he make it in the second round?
Yep.
Well, the injury was one, clearly, but then you're already seeing him on the sideline bitching.
I know.
Not liking that. Yeah.
I agree. Like I was seeing the bitching and the way he was acting on the sidelines, and I'm like, bro, you're a rookie. Like,
yeah, exactly.
What are you doing?
You're a rookie. Stop.
Like, yeah, shut the fuck up. Like that's just me. Like if I'm on that team and I see that with a rookie, I'd be like, bro, shut the fuck up. None of that shit out of a rookie. Be quiet.
I heard on the
even though I kind of agree with him on some things,
Oh yeah,
I get it.
But not saying he's totally doesn't have reason to be frustrated, no doubt. But I heard another podcast where there were a lot of rumors surrounding him and his attitude going into the draft. Let's hope it doesn't pop up. I'm a little concerned about that going forward. I mean, we've seen some stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. But having said everything, and this sounds like the Negative Nelly podcast, they should win on Sunday. After that, who knows, man? Like we said, that stretch of games is just brutal. Just brutal.
So, you know how that Kazi got, or is that you say Kazi?
Kazi, yep.
So he's suspended, but he's also an IR.
Yep.
I thought he was like done for the season. Is there a chance he's back?
No, I don't think he's done for the season at all. I think he could be back
week
right
5.
After week 5. I don't think he's. Well, I don't know. I haven't heard anything from him, but I think he's eligible to be back by game 5. But I don't think it's season ending. Otherwise,
because that could help a lot.
Yeah, I think I could see him replacing Edmonds,
tackling defensive back.
Yeah,
that'd be because he looked really good in the preseason. So that could be a guy that could really help them against the run and against the just both. Dude, if they get him back and TJ,
yeah, that's a big help.
I think that'd be a nice shot in the arm. Well, especially TJ, but I mean, like Kazi on top of it, just be the cherry on top, which that defense needs it. But you're right, absolutely. Everything is predicated on TJ Watt.
Yes,
and then
coming back,
add in Highsmith, and there's your pressure.
Yeah, and then everything falls into place after that. Everything falls into place.
And it's amazing how much it does revolve around that.
Mhm.
And then if it's not there, you're done. So
yeah, we've been doom and gloom on the last couple of podcasts, but there is a world where Kenny Pickett comes in, starts playing well, and TJ Watt comes back and the defense not playing well, and this thing turns around.
yeah, I agree.
I mean,
I don't
is it likely?
know if the Kenny Pickett thing's going to happen.
Yeah,
but
there's layers to this, and that's one of them. They got to put him in first before he can stop playing well. And
if they win with Mitch Sunday, they're not. It's not happening.
We said it buys them 3 more games probably.
It's going to take going 2-7, and then when it's the bye week, then they'll bring him in.
And let's be honest, he's been with the team. You know, it's not like they just picked him up. He knows the offense. He doesn't need a bye to get ready for a game.
I know.
You put him in on Tuesday in practice, he's ready for Sunday.
Yep.
There's no need for a bye or a Thursday game like we've been talking about all the season. He knows the offense probably better than Mitch does, for crying out loud. I'm at this point, I'm positive he can run it better than Mitch. So there's basically no excuse left. I mean, we can sit here and pound the table for him till we run out of breath.
The thing about it is, it's so funny because neither of us are Pitt fans.
No,
we're just sitting here banging that drum, man. Like, come on, man. Like, let's go. Like put him in. It's hilarious that we feel that way. But man, after what I saw in preseason and what I'm seeing with Mitch here, like, yeah, I'm ready when they are.
Full disclosure, I mean, and someone on Twitter was nice enough to bring it up. On draft night, I was furious. And I said, this was going to be a 9-8 team forever because Kenny's not the guy. But like I said, he won me over in the preseason. He won me over. He looks good in this offense. We just got to see him come out there. Let's see what happens. All right, that's all I have. You have anything else before we sign off for today?
No, that's it.
All right, you can find me at SteelersSank16 on Twitter. I keep saying it every week. Give us an email. We haven't had much as far as emails at DAVER@SteelersSanctuary.com. Find us on the YouTube page, Steelers Sanctuary. Dave's going to put up another fantasy football thing today, tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going to load it up today.
Load up today, perfect. And I think I'm going to do I Said What I Said tomorrow. So the YouTube channel's rolling. Follow us there. Dave, you got anything?
No, you can find me on Twitter at @M_Corb. Hit me up. You got any questions? Feel free to direct message me and ask.
Excellent. All right. Until Friday, we'll talk to you then.